Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Vicki Johnson from ProFellow, and today's short course is how to express your why in a successful personal statement. So whether you're applying to graduate school or a fellowship, there's typically a personal statement that is included and required in your application. So first things first, before you begin, it's really important to understand the purpose of your personal statement. What you have is an application story that explains why you are applying to the award and what you're going to get out of it. But your application story has a beginning, a middle, and the end. So think about the story. The beginning is your background, how you got to where you are now, what motivates you, what are you passionate about? And then the end of the story is the achievement of a very specific career goal that actually will happen after your fellowship or after graduate school. And then the middle of your story is the hook. And that is how the program is uniquely positioned to help you achieve your specific career goal. So step one, it's important to identify first the program's mission. One thing that really trips people up is that they think about the award only within their own personal achievements and goals. And really, these fellowship programs and even graduate school programs have a broader social impact mission. There's a reason that they are investing in people year after year. It's because they have something that they want to achieve, a mission of some sort. And it might be that the mission is something that enhances their organization. It could be something about enhancing the community that they are based in. It can also be about making a social impact in the world. So first things first, figure out what the program's mission is. Try to understand, why did they invest in fellows and what are they trying to achieve? Because what you want to do is align your personal career and personal goals to their goals, and think about how you're going to help them further their mission through your experience as a fellow. So ask yourself, how will your personal goals help them achieve their social impact mission? And beyond that, what else can you contribute to help them further their mission? Then step two, I want you to pick one specific 2 to 5 year post-fellowship career goal or postgraduate school goal. And the reason it's important to be specific is because it's easier to structure your application story if there's a very specific endpoint to your story. So what I mean by specific, some people might just say at the end of their application or personal statement that ultimately they'd love to pursue a PhD. But get more specific than that. Mention your top school that you want to get into. Say something like, I'd like to pursue a PhD in business at Rice University because it has a unique doctoral program in strategic management. When you have a really specific goal like that, it's easier to link your story to the goal. Or something like that, a broader professional goal like international development. You could say, rather than just saying, ultimately, I want to work in the field of international development, which is very vague, you could say something like, I want to work in a strategy position at a leading organization like Kiva that provides microfinancing to women entrepreneurs in developing countries. So you see how specific I'm getting here? Now, keep in mind, many of you may not know exactly what you want to do in 2 to 5 years, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, what you really need is a clear and compelling story. So pick an authentic goal among the many possible career paths or goals that you may have. Pick one that's authentic, and really also pick one that aligns with the fellowship, that explains why you're going after this fellowship. And narrow it down to something specific programs, specific job titles, specific organizations that you want to work for. This will help you to make a compelling story. Next, step three, I want you to identify the program's unique value add. So you're going to ask yourself, how will this program help you achieve your goals unlike any other program? So I always tell people to look at what the program brags about. What is it that they say is unique about their fellowship or unique about their graduate program? Every program will have something that's unique. So try to key in on that, because that's what they're proud of. And they want you to pursue their program for those unique reasons. So you want to talk about how you're going to leverage those unique things. And again, when you figure out the value add that the program provides, it will help you to structure a more compelling application story as to why you're going after that particular fellowship or program. Now, the secret to all this is that the program or the fellowship is the hero in your application story. So let me explain that a bit more. Here's a 5-paragraph format that I like to recommend to people, especially those who have the 1-page personal statement, which is a pretty common format. First, you're going to start with number one, a powerful opening story from your life that demonstrates a characteristic of their ideal candidate. If they're looking for young leaders, you want to talk about a story that demonstrates your leadership experience or potential. If it's a fellowship or program looking for scholars, you want a story that illustrates why you're interested in scholarly academic research or an academic career. If it's a fellowship or project, again, you want a story that highlights your creativity or your life experience in the creative field. Keep that in mind. You're going to have a lot of stories from your life that are interesting and relevant, but you got to pick one, and it's got to be relevant to the opportunity that you're applying to. The next part of your 5-paragraph format is then building on the trajectory of what you mentioned in your first story. The first story is sort of catching their attention and starting to give a little insight into why you're their ideal candidate. But then you got to provide more context, your educational background, your career background, a little bit more about where you are now. And this should sort of build on the story that you put in the first paragraph. Then number 3 is the description of your very specific 2 to 5 year career goal. So now you've given an opening story, and then you're starting to pan out, showing the trajectory, and then ultimately what you aim to do in 2 to 5 years. The next part of your essay is then those unique factors about the program. And here is where you explain why the program is the hero that will help you achieve your 2 to 5 year specific career goal. So that means you're telling them what are the unique aspects of the program that will help you achieve your very specific goal that is unlike any other opportunity that is out there. And that will help create a really compelling story and reason why you're applying to the award. And then the last part is the closure, is talking about how you can help them further their mission. What are you going to do during and after the program to contribute to their mission? So if the fellowship or the graduate program is in a social impact sphere, what is your contribution to that social impact sphere, just both as you as an individual and then in a broader sense? Are you going to publish? Are you going to become a leader in this industry? Are you going to help to, how many people or things are you going to impact throughout your career once you achieve this fellowship or graduate degree? So think about that. So you want to end with them to see why you would be their ideal candidate, because it'll be very clear as to how you're going to help them further their mission. One thing, a little secret of mine, I also like to say is that if you're able to have a line break and include one last line in your personal statement, I always used to put "thank you for your consideration." It just adds a little bit of gratitude and humility at the end of your personal statement, especially in those statements that have a very severe, word count or word limit, that you put some space there to let them know that you have gratitude for the opportunity that you're applying for. That goes actually a long way. So that's just a little hint. If you're able to include that, do. Now, what about that short answer format? Sometimes you don't have a page. Sometimes it's, apply with 100 to 200 words to several questions. I still suggest prepare the 5-part essay so that you for yourself have a very clear and effective application story. And then from this, you will be able to draw clear and precise short answer responses. So I would encourage you to go through this exercise as if you're writing a 1-page essay, and then use that as the basis for responding to all of your questions. The reason this is helpful then is that the responses to all of your questions will make sense because they're all part of a singular overarching story. So I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again in ProFellow Academy.